That skill presents multiplication and division. Multiplication, also called product, is used when the same number is added to itself over and over again. Let's say a certain number of times. So let's say you want to add 5 to itself and do that 6 times. So you have 6 5s in this addition sentence. You could replace this addition sentence with the multiplication sentence 5 times 6, and that's equal to 30. You learn your multiplication tables or your multiplication charts so that you could spare yourself the effort of having to do a large addition problem. Imagine if you had to do 5 plus 5 plus 5 and do that 100 times, and if you didn't know how to multiply 5 with 100, you would need to count by 5s 100 times. And that's exactly why you should memorize your basic multiplication tables and build your multiplication skills based on them. In a multiplication sentence, the numbers that are multiplied together are called the factors. So 5 is a factor in this sentence, and so is 6. That's another factor. And the answer to the multiplication is called the product. So you say the product of 5 and 6 is 30. Division, which in many ways is the opposite of multiplication, and a keyword for which is quotient, is often used to find a missing factor in a multiplication sentence. For example, consider the multiplication sentence 4 times a number, I want you to find this number out, is equal to 24. To find this number, you divide 24 with 4 and the answer is 6. Therefore, this number is 6. The product from the multiplication sentence that's being divided is called the dividend in the division sentence. The factor that's given is called the divisor. And then the missing factor is called the quotient. You can also use division to find out how many times you can subtract a given number from a larger number until you can subtract no more. For example, consider the division sentence 25 divided with 6. Another way of saying this is, you start from 25 and you keep subtracting 6. So 25 minus 6 is 19. You subtract another 6, you get 13. You subtract another 6, you get 7, and another 6 takes that down to 1, and you can subtract 6 from 1. So you could do that 1, 2, 3, 4 times. So we said 25 divided with 6 is equal to 4. But hang on, we have just seen that 4 times 6 is 24 and not 25. This leftover in the end is called the remainder. So we have the dividend as 25, the divisor as 6, the quotient is 4, and this time you have a remainder. And then another way to think about division is equal sharing. So when you have a certain number of things and you want to put them into groups of equal size, you use division. Let's look at this problem. A DVD store added 75 DVDs, each one of which costs them 9 Rand. What was the total cost of all 75 DVDs? So each DVD cost 9 Rand. So this is the cost for the first DVD they added, and that's the same as the cost for the second DVD, and that's the same for the cost for the third DVD, and so on. And therefore, in order to find out the total cost, you need to add these up. Essentially, add up 9 with itself 75 times for the 75 DVDs. So this is equivalent to the multiplication sentence 75 times 9. So you can write down 75 and then 9 below the 5 under the ones place, and then multiply 9 with 5, get a 45, write down 5, carry the 4 over, 9 times 7 is 63, plus 4 is 67, so the answer is 675. So the total cost of all 75 DVDs is 675 Rand. Let's try this problem. Each of the 24 students in a class are put into one of the 4 teams A, B, C or D. If all teams have the same number of students, so it's about equal sharing, how many students are there in each team? So there are 4 teams A, B, C and D, and they all have the same number in it. And if you add up these numbers, you get the total number of students, which is 24. And if this number is the same in all 4 boxes for A, B, C and D, then you know by now that this addition sentence, because the same number is being added to itself over and over again 4 times, can be changed to a multiplication sentence. And we could say something, the number in the box, we need to find this one out, multiplied with 4, because it's being added to itself 4 times, is equal to 24. And to find this missing factor in this multiplication sentence, you do division. So you divide 24 with 4 to get the answer, which is 6. So this missing factor is 6. And that's the number in each one of these boxes, and therefore each team has 6 students.